Don't mind the no makeup look I got going on. We have a hurricane brewing down the road, so I don't want to get stuck with a bunch of makeup on that I can't really clean off. I will say on my last video, I think because I don't really do videos, I just started this and I don't really see myself in videos. I noticed that my neck scar was very visible, which I don't really get bothered, but it just sort of took me back when I saw it. I had thyroid cancer and had my my thyroid removed, and I don't really think a whole lot of it until I saw that, and it just sort of took me back. I felt terrible before it was out. I was so sick, and I didn't really realize why. My thyroid, I had cancer, but it had also gotten completely toxic and stopped working. So my skin's a little weird too, because I gained I want to say maybe 40 pounds when it happened, and then now that all my numbers are normal, I've kind of lost most of that. I still have a little bit to go, but I don't have a thyroid, so it's all good. Anyways, yeah, so I noticed the scar. However, I feel much better now that it's out, and all is good. Anyway, so today I wanted to share with you, on the last video I had talked about my favorite method of putting glitter on. I have this guy that I use. I know this looks sort of silly, but what this is roll inside of cricut vinyl, and they're actually really, really thick. I save all the rolls when I take them out, and I put it on cardboard, hot glued it to make a little stand. This is, I just put some paper on it, and then I put contact paper over it so that it's slippery and it's kind of easy to clean off, although stuff still sticks to it, but it's not as bad as it would have been otherwise. So I use this just to put my cup on. All right, so this is my cup. This came orange already. I'm gonna do a fall cup, so I thought it was nice, and it's a not really a slickery surface. It's kind of a rough surface, so it'll be good. Okay, so I'm gonna use this from Recollections glitter. It's called Pumpkin. It's funny because I know on my last video I kept calling this Reflections glitter. I don't know why, but it's actually called Recollections. And then I'm going to use the tacky glue. I've got just an empty cup, and then I've got a cup with some water in it, and my sponge. Oh, and then I've got some paper down here. It's just freezer paper to collect my glitter as I do it. So with the tacky glue, you want to, I just take the top off of it, makes it a lot easier. So I like this tacky glue. It's $1.87 at Walmart for this big thing of it. Sorry, it does take a bit to get it out. It's actually a full bottle, it's just that it's, that consistency. So you can get this at the Dollar Tree also for $1 for a small one. I do, however, feel like, this is a much better value, of course, because it's so big, for $1.87. And then I put a little bit of water in it. So I really want it to be like a pancake batter. So my little stirring stick. So these sponges, I get them, I get a bag of them from the Dollar Tree, and I throw it out after every one. Sometimes I actually change it in between doing them. I've seen that there's people that, do wash them and save them. I don't like to do so because I do notice that like the little sponge after a while will leave a black residue on the cup. So, but I do though, like when I throw them out, I'll pull this guy off and I save the ends for like stir sticks. So I'm just gonna stir this up, and you basically want a consistency that is like pancake batter. I've made it a little thinner, I've made it a little thicker, and honestly, it all works. When I first started using this, I didn't add water to it, and that worked also, but it's much smoother if you add water to it. Oh, and I've already I cleaned off my cup with denatured alcohol. I need to fill that up actually. And so I just use, these aren't really, they're the hand towels, the Kleenex hand towels. They're, thin, like, they're softer than a paper towel, and they're thin like a tissue, but they're cotton. They're not, they don't leave little fibers everywhere. Although when my cups are wet, I wouldn't use it on them. I do use it for alcohol though, when I wipe them with alcohol, but I use the coffee filters if something's wet and I need to do something on it, or baby wipes. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this, the light's sort of weird, but this is like pancake batter in there. So, and then I am going to take my cup off because I want to beat the ends. As I see so many people have these great home businesses doing this, and I love it. I love that something so fun can give, people a sense of stability with income. It really makes me happy. So, if you have a home business doing this, or you're going to start one, awesome, good for you. I think that's great. Okay, so now I like to just pour my glitter on, and then I put my glitter, of course, back in the container, because again, this hobby can definitely get expensive. So this one, I really prefer ones that I can screw the top off of and put it back on, because this is sort of a pain to put the glitter back in. That's the one thing I don't like about these. And then it's got a top over it that you have to kind of push in, and I can't always get it out. I don't know if you could see it in there, and it gets in the way. But the glitter color is really pretty, so I like to pour, because I like everything just really, really covered. So this is going to be a fall cup, and I thought it would just be really, really, really pretty. I love to create. Creating just makes me feel super happy. And creating things for other people make me feel happy. Just like DIYs and stuff too. I enjoy taking stuff and just making something great out of it. All right, I just got to put this glitter back. I always, no matter what, spill a little bit on my table with this particular brand. It's just kind of how it is. Any little weird leftover pieces that I have, I always put in a container and then I'll use it. It's amazing. It makes like for some really pretty glitter though. All the leftovers blended together. I made a hurricane cup. My daughter wanted a hurricane cup, so I made a hurricane cup and I used like all the blended glitter. I'll show it to you. But it actually, the color was so pretty. I was like, oh, I wish I could recreate that. I don't even know what all was in it because it was so pretty. Right, so that pumpkin looks really nice. I like it. Okay, so I'm going to just let this dry. I'll put that back in the container, and then once it dries, I'll come back and I'll show you, and we'll burnish it, and then we'll do it again. Real quick, I'll show you the hurricane cup. So this is the hurricane cup. It's just a little plastic cup because it's just a hurricane cup. But that glitter is so pretty, and that is just from, you know, like the little pieces. So if I drop it on my mats, and you know, I don't want to contaminate my good glitter, so if I drop it on my mat, then I'll, you know, wipe it up and just put it into a container. So I end up with a lot of just extra glitter. Hi guys. I'm back. So it's actually been about 30 minutes. I'm sorry I got caught up because of the storm with some stuff that I had to do. I usually do this about 15 or 20 minutes after. But so now that it's dry, little tacky, I take and I just burnish it. I like to use a gloved finger. Then you can see the glitter that's coming off. And I'm just really, really, really pushing the glitter into the cup. But you can also see it really makes the glitter shine. Just go through the whole cup like this. Got a little spot right there, but it doesn't matter because it's going to get more glitter, so I'll just fix it. So now we're going to do another layer. Now my glue has just been sitting there, but as you can see, it's still fine. My sponge, on the other hand, we'll see how it goes. I may have to change it, but my glue, still fine. You know, I was just really feeling guilty because of, you know, throwing so much plastic away. And I actually really like the silicone reusable cups. They work super well. I didn't think that I would because I really, you know, didn't hear great reviews on them. But yeah, I actually really did like them. I really do like them a lot. So I went to these, you know, paper bathroom cups for like putting my glue and stuff in. Now I have these little pink cups that I put like glitter in for extra glitter, but I don't feel bad about them because I keep them and reuse them. So these things that I throw away, I did go to paper. So I'm gonna do another thing of glitter. Again, and honestly, the time you spend working on it is a short period of time. The thing that's time consuming is just the fact that it has to dry in between and you have to do it. But the actual, you know, glittering and burnishing time it's not a lot of time at all. Oh, I am just making quite a mess. Try to put this back, which is fine. So like with this, so I love these these placemats. They're just placemats from the dollar store. If you look around my room, you'll see I've got them all over the place. I love them because I can just throw some alcohol on them, clean them, and you know, it keeps everything kind of clean, and I keep them all over. All right, so my glitter. All right, so now I will let this dry and then I will be back. All right, so it's been about 20 minutes. So now we're gonna go in. Oop. So see that spot there was not quite completely dry. So when that happens, I usually will just like kind of pat it in. And that really only happens if, you know, like maybe I might get a space where I get a little bit too much glue on it. But super easy, you know, and sometimes I'll do it, it's not quite ready, and I'll have spots like that. So when I do that, I will just go in and, you know, kind of pat it down, pat it in, and it still burnishes in and looks just fine. I really, really like this color. So you can see, I mean, it's so nice and it's so shiny, and it's just, the glitter just ends up on so good. So with this one, I've tried both ways. I always, you know, I do Mod Podge over it to seal it before I do the the resin. So you can see that's my one little spot right there. I'll fix. I'll do one more coat and fix it. Or honestly, I don't really even need to do a full coat. I could also do this. Oh, I didn't cut the top. I don't want it to come out in too much of a clump. Sorry, one-handed, I'm making a mess. Because I really don't need to do the whole thing again. I just had, you know, an area that was still a little wet. Yeah, just that one spot. So since it's just that one spot, all I'm gonna do is I just dab a little glue on it. And cover it. And then just pat it in. And just pat it down and it'll be very adhered to there. So I've done this both ways. My thing is I like to cover it all with Mod Podge and then put resin on it. However, you know, I did try it without it just to see, because it, you know, I felt like it was adhered down so well, and it actually, doing this way, I actually didn't lose any glitter when I put the resin on it without Mod Podging it. However, I still do just because it's just what I do. But anyways, so that is using Aleene. So I did 2 coats. The goal with this one was to see how nicely the glitter lays on using the tacky glue method, which you can see this one didn't require any kind of sanding or anything. It just laid very, very flat. This is my fall cup. My daughter and her hubs. This was the day of our baby reveal when I found out I was having a little boy. And this grandma can't wait to spoil him. Thank you guys so much for spending this time with me. Keep crafting and have a happy day.